3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
TNA Wrestling Show.
I mean, I've watched your show, your guys' show, you know, so it's nothing new to me.
This is Petey Williams' definition of the Maple Leaf Muscle, and I need you to subscribe to Andre Corbeil on YouTube.
Hi, I'm Diana Hart. You're watching the Can-Am Wrestling Show with Big Ray and Andre Corbeil.
That's right.
What brings you to my house? I do disturbing while I'm wearing my PJs.
This is Monsters BC, and you're watching the Can-Am Wrestling Show, a.k.a. formerly Brodus Clay, the Funkasaurus, and you do know that.
It's me, Eric Hernandez, a.k.a. the Supermex, and you're watching the Can-Am Wrestling Show.
This is the effing machine, the Wolverine, Mr. GMSI himself, Brian Cage, here with Andre and Big Ray, and you're watching the Can-Am Wrestling Show.
Oh God, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Can-Am Wrestling Show. If you don't know who I am the Mark of the Masses, the man with a plan. Big Ray here to stay to talk some wrestling today, and I am joined by my Can-Am brother from the north, my Canadian compadre. I call him the Canadian Destroyer, Mr. Andre Corbeil. Andre Corbeil, this is Can-Am Wrestling Show number 60, number 60. We are past the midway point on our way to 100. Jesus Christ, Andre, what's going on, dude?
I was down in the dungeon training Brett, and Diana came down and she put me in a wrist lock, and she had me good. I had to tap out, and I don't tap out too often.
There's a tribute to Stu Hart, the legend up here in Calgary. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 60 of the Can-Am Wrestling Show with Big Ray, Andre Corbeil. Can-Am, yes, Canada meets the United States, and of course our good friend Bill Schuyler. Back in the day segment coming later in the show. And Ray, there's a lot rolling into WrestleMania season, a lot going on in Total Nonstop Action Wrestling right now, and a super awesome Can-Am Wrestling Show Top 5 that was suggested from...
All right, well, I want to give a special shout out to Mr. Lee J. Robinson. You can follow him on Twitter at FlamePHX. Again, FlamePHX, and he suggested to us the top 5
Cruiserweights.
Top 5 Cruiserweight professional wrestlers of all times. Now, Andre, I usually don't divulge what our top 5 is going to be, but I happen to mention it to Billy Ray Valentine, who does the reports here at OneWrestling.com for Monday Night Raw. And Billy Ray Valentine happened to mention it to Bill Schuyler. And Bill Schuyler happened to get into an argument with Billy Ray Valentine, and they've been texting. My phone just went off again. They have been going back and forth.
You turned your phone off, Ray.
Andre, listen. My phone has been going off for the last hour because this is such a heated, debated topic as to who is the best cruiserweight of all time. So I'm going to actually, after we do our top 5, I'm going to run down both their lists really quickly because it's really interesting. But this is the great thing, Andre. This is what I love about the Can-Am Wrestling Show, about OneWrestling.com. You know what it is, Andre? Is that the fans interact. So, ladies and gentlemen, we want you to leave your top 5, your top 10, your top 25 cruiserweights of all time. Andre, would you like to start? Would you like me to start this week, my friend?
I'm going to start off this week, Ray, with an honorable mention from Calgary here, as a matter of fact, none other than Teddy Hart. Now, the fact of the matter, and the truth, wrestling fans, is if Teddy's uncontrollable behaviors weren't such a deterrent and a detriment to his career and the success of that career, he would be in the top anywhere in the world. But Ted's demons rule him ultimately, continually getting him in situations, in trouble. So enough of that. I'm going to digress and say, wrestling fans, Andre Corbeil's honorable mention this week in the Can-Am Wrestling Show Top 5 is none other than Teddy Hart getting my honorable mention.
Very nice. I'm really digging that
Teddy's
number
crazy,
5.
man. Teddy's crazy.
Would you like to jump into your number 5?
No, let's bounce back and forth, brother.
All right, so then I'm going to give my honorable mention. And the only reason my honorable mention isn't in this this cruiserweight division, this Can-Am cruiserweight division, if you would call it, is because I feel that he actually spent the most important time in his career as a heavyweight competitor. If it makes any sense. But I couldn't leave him off the list. I mean, I left him off the list, but I could not mention him. Because, Andre, you know him as one of my absolute very favorite wrestlers. When he passed away a couple of years ago, Andre, I shed a tear unlike no other. I'm talking about Latino Heat, Eddie Guerrero, of course, one of the let's say patriarchs of the WCW's cruiserweight division. The guy helped bring lucha to the United States of America. The guy went on to the WWE or WWF at the time and became a megastar. I mean, Eddie Guerrero was just unbelievable. And as a cruiserweight, one of the greatest of all time. But again, Andre, this is my opinion. I don't want to get any heat for this, but again, for me, Eddie Guerrero stays off the list, but he is great enough to give the honorable mention. Andre, you're number 5?
We lie, we cheat, we steal. We lie, we cheat, we steal. That's a great choice, Ray, and I'm going to digress on that one. Let's do the math. Now, my number 5 this week in the Can-Am Wrestling Show Top 5 is none other than an amazing, phenomenal high flyer, truly innovative, Amazing Red. And even AJ Styles said it on this very Can-Am Wrestling Show that even guys like Rey Mysterio borrowed from the moveset of Amazing Red, who's multi-time X Division title holder, a title holder all over the independent circuit, and an amazing innovator, like I said. And his Code Red finisher is easily in Andre Corbeil's top 10 greatest finishers of all time. So Amazing Red comes in this week, my Can-Am Wrestling Show Top Fizzle.
Well, Andre, that is an interesting number 5 pick. A lot of people might actually give you a little heat. You know, some people that don't know their wrestling might say, who the hell is Amazing Red? Amazing Red, one of the most talented independent wrestlers out there, and he actually moved up to TNA and did a lot of great work. He wrestled, if I'm correct, he did wrestle overseas a bunch. I mean, he's been all over the world, Amazing Red.
And he was trained by ECW legend Mikey Ripwreck. So
Mikey Whipwreck, yes, absolutely. Yeah, Whipwreck. It's not easy to say, Andre. I'm having trouble saying it myself. Now, Andre, Coffee. Speaking about TNA, my number 5 was technically... Now, I'm kind of being, I'm contradicting myself a little bit, but I would say that my top 5, this guy is probably one of the greatest high flyers. And being that he was, and even to this day, pretty much under 215 pounds, or around 215 pounds range, or under the 225, 230 mark, which would still technically make him a cruiserweight his entire career. I mean, this guy was a 3-time NWA champion, a 4-time NWA Tag Team champion, a TNA legend, a TNA World Heavyweight Champion, a 6-time TNA World Tag Team Champion, X Division Champion. I'm talking about not one that's great, not one that's awesome, but one that is phenomenal. AJ Styles. Andre?
I digress. My favorite wrestler in the world, Ray. Everybody knows that.
Oh, yeah. Move on, brother.
Now, Andre Corbeil's number 4 selection this week in the Can-Am Wrestling Show Top 5 is none other than the Iceman, Dean Malenko, the man of 1,000 holds, the man who brought the best out of Chris Jericho and even Eddie Guerrero, for that matter, who both praised Dean's talent and his skill sets, being one of the greatest cruiserweights of all time. And Dean Malenko makes Andre Corbeil's number 4 selection on this Can-Am Wrestling Show. Greatest cruiserweights worldwide.
Dean Malenko.
A little short on the charisma, but this isn't a charisma top 5.
It is not.
It's cruiserweight. So bam, the Iceman, brother.
Let me tell you something, man. Dean Malenko was damn amazing. But you know what? I'm not going to talk too much about him because he may be on my list, Andre. But
maybe.
I am going to talk about a wrestler that some people have forgotten. And I was going back and forth about putting him on this list, but after actually going down his career, I mean, you know, in All Japan Pro Wrestling, CMLL, IWRG, New Japan Pro Wrestling, WWE, WCW. I mean, the guy's wrestled in the Tokyo Dome. He's wrestled in Mexico. He's wrestled all over the world. He's held so many championships. At one point, there was a picture of him. He couldn't even keep them all up. He had them all over his body. His name means... in Spanish, which is where he actually really got his name, the Ultimo Dragon, El Ultimo Dragon. That is the one and only Dragon. I'm talking about the Ultimo Dragon. Now, I have to be honest with you. Going back and forth with the banter with Billy Ray Valentine and Bill Schuyler, you know, I just listening to these guys, they helped encourage me put this man back, and I did some research. And again, Andre, I mean, this guy has not only a plethora of titles, but this guy actually helped usher in WCW's Cruiserweight division. Wasn't the main guy, but
he was an integral part. Ray.
He was an integral part, and I think totally underutilized by WWE. Again, WWE, the land of giants, or WWF at the time. I think the guy could have did a hell of a lot more. He became just a walking, talking gimmick, or not even talking. They really didn't do much for him at WWF, but he went on to continue to be a great legend in Japan, my friend. So I'm talking about the one and only El Ultimo, the last Dragon.
Honestly, fans, he was originally my number 2 as I started this top 5. And as Ray does, I do the same thing. I bang my head against the wall trying to come up with the best top 5 selection each and every week for you guys. And I actually bumped him out. But initially when I made the top 5 on my end, Ultimo Dragon was my number 2 selection. And Ray...
Isn't it tough, Andre?
Yes, but we could just slap something together, but that's not what we're about. We know you guys support us, and we're not going to shortcut half change each and every one of you guys because we want you to continue to walk on this path with Big Ray, Andre Corbeil, Bill Schuyler, and OneWrestling.com. So, yeah, Ultimo Dragon, phenomenal talent. One of the most exciting parts of the early stages of Monday Nitro back in the day. I don't have one bad thing to say about Ultimo Dragon, and I think he had a damn cool mask, to be honest with you.
Oh yeah, dude. You know, his
shoulder,
his gimmick outfit was perfect. I mean, the only guy that can pull off the Dragon gimmick better, or just as good as a guy that's wrestling right now,
Ricky
in AAA, El Dragon.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Rick Steamboat.
No, not Ricky the Dragon. I'm talking about with the gimmick.
You
mask
said the only other person that could perform. So
no, yeah. that can pull off the Dragon gimmick. I'm sorry, the whole Dragon look like gimmick, the gimmick outfit,
the costume,
the costume, and the only one, our friend Supermex Hernandez actually mentioned El Dragon. The guy has an awesome, the long green tongue and everything. That's ridiculous. But Ultimo Dragon was more than just a gimmick. This guy was just a freaking wrestling classic, my friend.
Remember the feud he had with Sonny Ono?
Oh yes, oh yes, man.
Stuff.
Hell yeah, good
Not
stuff.
Not so often a feud involving a manager and a talent can be that compelling. But this isn't the Ultimo Dragon top 5. That's a great selection. I don't disagree at all, Ray.
Thank you, sir.
I'm going to roll into my number 3 selection this week in the Can-Am Wrestling Show top 5. Someone that was just as phenomenal as Ultimo Dragon, and many would say better. Rey Mysterio, innovative. A true brand within himself, wrestling fans, and you can't lie, you can't deny it. He's carved a legendary career for himself and isn't done yet, wrestling fans. You can watch Bill Apter's interview at OneWrestling.com just last week, as Rey Mysterio was the first person, Bill Apter was the first person that Rey Mysterio decided to do a candid one-on-one interview, so don't miss it, wrestling fans, right here at OneWrestling.com. So he isn't done yet, and I hope the fans eventually get to see AJ Styles versus Rey Mysterio someday. Now that's a dream match that Andre Corbeil would love to see, and AJ Styles even said it when Rey presented that suggestion to him on the Can-Am Wrestling Show that AJ Styles was on. AJ salivated at the mouth, and I just think it'd be an ultimate dream match for the possible dream matches that are left on the grand stage in professional wrestling. So Rey Mysterio comes in, wrestling fans, this week in Andre Corbeil's number 3 selection on the Can-Am Wrestling Show top 5.
Andre, could you imagine Rey Mysterio versus AJ Styles in Japan?
Anywhere. It could be in a bar. I'm just
saying for the ambiance, like at or even Rey Mysterio versus AJ Styles in at the next Triple Mania or something like that. I mean, that would be bananas,
Triple Mania would be nice.
My goodness gracious, man! All right, Andre, we're gonna jump into my number 3. And my number 3 is possibly the least charismatic wrestler I've ever seen in my life, but this guy didn't only have he didn't have one hold. He didn't have 2 holds. He didn't have 1,000 holds. This guy had 1,001 holes, Andre Corbeil. Andre Corbeil, listen. ECW World Tag Team Champion, ECW Television Champion, I think multiple times if I'm correct. The guy wrestled all over the world, and he is the only Cruiserweight, if I am correct, the only true Cruiserweight that Pro Wrestling Illustrated ranked as number 1 in their PWI 500 in 1997, which is huge. I think he was a 3 or 4-time WCW Cruiserweight Champion, United States Champion, I got WWF Light Heavyweight Champion, the equivalent of the Cruiserweights over there. Dude, I'm talking about the man of 1,001 holds.
The Iceman.
I mean, this was his gimmick. But he didn't need a gimmick, Andre.
No, he didn't.
Talking about Dean Malenko, my friend. Guy's awesome. Amazing.
Yeah, I agree. I already touched base on that, and that's a great selection.
Amazing, right? Dude. Amazing. Arigato. To our Japanese friends. Arigato. Hey, anyway. Go ahead. Steve Barm?
Yeah, that's a good plug, bro.
Hey, I love that, dude. Steve Barm, you're the man.
Coming in number 2 this week on Andre Corbeil's Can-Am Wrestling Show Top 5. My favorite wrestler in the world over the last 13 years. Earning the respect of every wrestling fan out there. And if you don't respect a man, you shouldn't be a wrestling fan. And hey, that rhymes. This name being known as the Phenomenal One, AJ Styles. And he's still on top of the business, wrestling fans, as your current reigning and defending IWGP World Heavyweight Champion. The nicest looking title in current wrestling date. Would you agree, Ray?
It's gorgeous. If I can get my hands on a reasonably cost-effective replica of that belt, I would love to. I want to see. Maybe I could reach out to AJ. Maybe he can help me with that, dude. Because I would really love to get a hold. I'm gonna do that, dude. Seriously. Around Christmas time. But anyway,
talk to Dave Milken there.
Dave Milken. Anyway,
I know. But the thing that makes that title so prestigious, in my opinion, is. I can't remember the fan who worded it like this in comparison, but it's basically the Stanley Cup of wrestling titles. But you look on the side plates, instead of having countries, it has the names of the past holders of the title. You can't beat that with a bat.
I got a belt that is even more beautiful than that belt.
Don't stand up and show me a cheesy cowboy belt buckle.
I am talking about the Puerto Rican Heavyweight Championship belt. This belt has been made by the finest craftsman, me. You see the metal tip there. You see the raised plate. This is made with the finest cardboard, aluminum foil, and duct tape anyone could buy. I made this for my son. I don't know if you guys can see that. It's the old WWF
Your
logo.
Puerto Rican heavyweight champion of the world, Eden Hernandez.
Yeah, you see his name right? That's my boy. Actually, I had a lot of fun making this with my son. It was pretty cool, man.
Totally awesome, Ray. I used to make belts with my buddy Mike back in the day. It's when we were kids. Just great fun. I bet Aiden loves that bad boy.
Dude, the next Can-Am show, I actually made him. Actually, you know what? After I do my number 2 and you jump in, I'm going to show him. I made a custom red and white cane big red machine mask for Aiden today, and I'm going to have him show it to you.
You're going to walk out of the shower one of these days and start walking down the hallway, and out of nowhere, Aiden's going to bolt around a corner with that title in hand and lay you out across the forehead.
Leave a big mark. Dude, I mean, there's a lot of craftsmanship that went into this title belt, but anyway, it's made with love, and you know what? It goes to show you, wrestling fans, you don't have to buy all these fancy schmancy replica belts. You don't have to be rich. Just spend a little time with your kids, man. A little crafts, a little art. You know, do a little this and a little that, and let me tell you, my son went ballistic over it, and he's been walking around with the house with it right now. He's probably looking for it.
You know why?
Why?
You can't find a Puerto Rican World Championship title.
Oh, shut up!
Brother.
Yes, you can.
So that thing's
the
one
World
of a
Wrestling
kind.
Council, Universal title, whatever. Anyway, I'm gonna jump into my number 2 because we're spending a lot of time here, and I'm gonna call Aiden in to bring that mask. But my number 2, Andre. There was no way I could take this guy off my list. This guy is beyond a legend. I met this guy in New Jersey with Bill Apter, and he was just a nice guy. Didn't speak much English, but he knew exactly who Bill. Oh, Bill! That's his name. Oh, hi, Bill. Oh, hi. That's all he did. He was awesome. But a very nice man. I got to shake his hand, and a little guy, but my God, you could tell he had that persona. He was wearing his gimmick outfit. This guy was IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion 11 times, Andre. WCW.
Yes, I know, son. I know.
Light Heavyweight Champion, son. IWGP. I think he was 11 times. Did I just mention that? 6-time Tag Team Champion. He actually wrestled in CMLL. He won the Universal Championship there, the Middleweight Championship, Tag Team Championship. He was a WWF Light Heavyweight Champion. This guy, I'm going to say this.
Wrestled in WCW and TNA
everywhere
as well.
Yeah. But I'm going to say this. Yeah, he was a WCW Light Heavyweight Champion too. Cruiserweight Champion.
Cruiserweight
Champion. I would almost say, along with guys like the Great Muta, helped usher in the smaller competitors, and I think he is due a great respect. I am talking with reverence and respect. My number 2, Jushin Thunder Liger, one of the coolest looking masks you would ever find anywhere.
Looked like straight out of a video game.
Oh, Power Rangers copied off of that dude.
Oh,
long ways.
Easily.
So that is my number 2, Andre. What's your number 2 as I yell for Aiden? I'm going to turn off my mic really quickly.
Kane. Oh my God! Hellfire and brimstone! Anyway, wrestling fans, Andre Corbeil's number 1 selection this week in the Can-Am Wrestling Show Top 5 is none other than Latino Heat. Eduardo Guerrero. What more can I say other than this workhorse absolutely captivated everyone's imagination, everyone's love, everyone's respect, and basically defied the odds within the prejudices in WWE and got ahead and got by with his pure and natural talent. Now, Eddie had a skill set, a move set, unlike many others, and he's going to go down forever in the walls of wrestling history as one of the greatest cruiserweights of all time. Indeed, being Andre Corbeil's number 1 selection in this week's Can-Am Wrestling Show Top 5, and you just can't deny it. In-ring talent, psychology, and even his comedical value. Eduardo Guerrero. Eduardo. Why are you calling him Eduardo, man? Eddie Guerrero.
Let me tell you something. Eddie Guerrero, Andre, is one of my favorites, and you son of a... You took him, put him right on my list. I can't argue with that, Andre. Eddie Guerrero could have been number 1 on my list also.
Hey,
Andre.
China! Come on, mamacita!
Mamacita! Oh God, he was so over, dude. Do
you remember when she found him in the shower with the 2 girls?
Yes.
Baby, I was just playing. Hey, mamacita!
I lied. I cheated. I just Aiden just came by, and he actually showed me. He actually bought it for me. Andre, tell me if you like this crap.
We don't even get to see the Puerto Rican World Heavyweight Champion on the Can-Am Wrestling Show.
He's off.
You're killing our cred.
He's off training, Andre. He didn't have time.
Good.
Let me tell you something. This kid's 4'4" and he's only 6 years old. So he may be taking in this guy's footsteps right here. My dad.
Great, depriving us of the Puerto Rican World Heavyweight Champion on the Can-Am Wrestling Show. In the comment section below, fans, let Ray hear it.
Andre,
let them hear it.
I made this today, and it's a little rough, but he wanted a custom. He didn't want black and red. He wanted white and red. So this is one of a kind.
That's an excuse for botching it up. Actually, you didn't botch it up at all. That looks really good.
It's a one of a kind red and white cane mask. You have the mouth hole here.
And that's the best cane mask, fans. Comment below in the comment section and let Ray and I know which cane mask you think is the best. I think that's the best version, buddy.
I mean, not bad, right? It's actually reinforced. I actually laminated it.
Spin it around.
It's cardboard.
Oh, okay. Well, hey, that's a good job, bro.
So
I did. Saved yourself $20 there for Halloween next year.
I did this for Aiden, man, and I love doing stuff like that for my boy. And he loves watching. He doesn't like really doing as much, but he loves to cut the tape for me and hand me the crayons and stuff. And I'm the artist of the bunch, but I love doing little stuff like the belt and everything. But anyway, guys and girls out there, be parents, man. That's all. It's so easy. Spend a little time with your kids, man. I mean, look at Andre. Look at Andre's kid. He loves his kid. Andre, what
I
Tony?
got no kids, brother.
Tony, you got Tony. Tony's your kid. Tony's your son.
Not theoretically, though.
Well, I mean, it's a cat.
Hey, my son, what's going on?
It's a cat, but you love him just as much. But anyway, I'm gonna go to my number one. This has been a fun top 5. I feel like we're just sitting down talking. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah,
it's pretty much what we do. Anyway,
loosen up your tie. Don't be such a tightwad.
Oh man, all right, I'll do that. My number 5, Andre. I'm not even gonna break down the titles that he's won. I'm not gonna break down the fact that he's been in, Mexico and the United States and Japan and ECW and all this other stuff. I mean, this guy, I feel legitimately, was the greatest cruiserweight of all time because of. I mean, no matter how much weight he gained, he would always be a cruiserweight. But the guy is just a legendary athlete, and he will probably finish his career in Mexico. Who knows? Anyway, you gave a great, nice probably breakdown of this superstar, so I'm not going to get into all the logistics. But for me, my number 1 of all time is Rey Mysterio Jr.
Junior. Did I say that right? Junior.
Yeah, Junior, I guess. Now, really quickly, Billy Ray Valentine has been on my case. Now he swears.
Stay on him, Billy.
He swears. Oh my goodness gracious, dude! If you see this text, oh my God! All right, here's the funny thing. Somebody said, I'm not gonna mention who it was, but said that it cannot be a top 5 all-time great cruiserweights without Grado. Anyway, so Billy Ray.
I don't even have a comeback.
Billy Ray Valentine gave me a top 10. His number 10, Eddie Guerrero, El Samurai, or El Sumaria, Samaria. I can't even. Kenta, Mystico, Shikoro Otani, Shinkoro Otani, Dean Malenko, Ultimo Dragon, the great Suzuki. That's a great pick, and I want you guys to do your research on that. Rey Mysterio number 2, and number 1 he has Liger. And do you know anything about that Japanese wrestler, Andre?
Liger, of course.
Look, your man Bill Schuyler. Guess who we put in there? Petey Williams.
Nice.
Juventud Guerrero, Taka Michinoku, Low Key, Sensei, Eddie Guerrero, Bryan Danielson. Interesting. His number 4, Rey Mysterio. Number 3, number 2 is Dean Malenko, and number 1 again, Ultimo Dragon. Interesting. I can't wait.
Those are
interesting. I can't wait to find.
I like both of those lists actually.
I can't wait to hear our fans' top 5. I love hearing from you guys out there. Please. All right, Andre. Listen.
Can't believe that this is our first topic of the episode. That was a long-winded top 5. Anyway, I digress, and I imagine Ray does as well. It's time for your birthday shout-outs. Yes, your Can-Am Wrestling Show 1 Wrestling birthdays from March 9th to March 18th. Rick Steiner, happy birthday. AJ Lee, happy birthday. Tiger Ali Singh, a.k.a. Jinder Mahal, happy birthday. The beautiful Melina, happy birthday. Little Guido from ECW fame, happy birthday. Nydia, happy birthday. Brian Clark, a.k.a. Raph, happy birthday. Rest in peace as well. Santino Marella, happy birthday. Henry Godwin, happy birthday, brother. Sean Morley, happy birthday.
Oh, hello, ladies.
Steve Armstrong, happy birthday. Kenny Dykstra, happy birthday. And happy birthday to the model, Ricky Martel. Andre Corbeil, Big Ray, and One Wrestling wish all of you happy birthdays. Plus, no longer here on this planet, but always remembered. The birthdays are, like I said, Brian Clark, known as Raph, Andrew Test Martin, and Mae Young. Rest in peace and happy birthday. So those are your OneWrestling.com Can-Am Wrestling Show birthdays of the week.
Hold on, Andre. You missed the most important birthday of them all, the Ides of March, March 15th.
Yes, El Diablo's birthday. Happy birthday, El... Oops.
Nobody knows I'm El Diablo, you idiot. It's my birthday. El Diablo has absolutely nothing to do with me. March 15th, ladies and gentlemen.
Who's El Diablo?
I don't know. Some guy that Bill Apter knows. The Puerto Rican heavyweight champion, apparently. He left his belt for me.
Yes. Happy birthday, brother.
Yeah, that's why, I said, what, let me dress up a little bit for this episode. I'm not, listen, guys. I'm going to give a big shout out to my dad. My birthday is March 15th. My father's birthday is St. Patty's Day here in the United States.
Hey.
St. Patty's Day. And my father was the 17th. We used to celebrate our birthdays together. And let me tell you something, man. I had an awesome birthday. My mom, my family did a little something special. I went to Jen's house, and I walked in. I thought it was just going to be like a little dinner. And she had the whole house decorated. And let me tell you something, man. This is the first birthday in years that not that I forgot my father, but that I wasn't sad. And it's a testament to everything I've been through. That's made me stronger. My new job,
and where you're going. That's right.
Where I'm going. I have a gorgeous woman in my life. I have an amazing son. I mean, dude, you can't get any better than that, dude. So thank you guys and a lot of you guys wish me ridiculous amounts of birthday wishes via Skype, via Twitter, via Facebook. Thank you guys so much. I love you guys. Thank you so much. I'm serious, man. But anyway, Andre, let's talk about some wrestling, dude. Brother.
TNA! TNA! And after the show this past week that Impact Wrestling, emulating from London, England, put out, wow, definitely worthy of chance TNA. TNA as EC3 versus Rockstar Spud in an epic main event match, a bloodbath, Ray, and also a new innovative idea. We're going to touch base on that a little after, but Ray, what did you think of that bloodbath, that match on last week's Impact, or this week's, depending on when you're watching the show?
I thought, number one, first and foremost, let me just tell you this. Me being a wrestling fan for almost 40 years. Yes, I'm 39 years old. I mean, I started watching wrestling probably when I was about 4 or 5 years old, so shut up. But, you suck. But, EC3 is just an amazing talent. And this guy, I thought, and I hope this isn't a spoiler, it's almost a week old, but I thought that he was going to turn on Spud. I mean, he was not going to turn on Spud. What I thought they were going to do was, I thought they were going to actually kind of stretch it out a little bit, and I would have liked that a little more. Maybe had him tag team with Spud, and I bet you, EC3, as charismatic and as good as he is, would have been probably a top baby face the next following week. That's how good this freaking guy is, Andre.
Dude, he was getting cheers right off the hop, and this proves exactly why Rockstar Spud and Ethan Carter III are core pieces within the core of Total Nonstop Action Wrestling. Spud wrestled like a champ. You can't take nothing away from the performance, the beating he took, and what he took forth towards the fans in London, even having them all sing God Save the Queen. Oh. Every single one of them. And Big Ray, EC3 going from a heel to a face and then back to a heel all in one segment just proves how much of a core piece, how much upside, how much potential indeed this young total package of a wrestler, of a performer, of an entertainer has. I think the sky's the limit, and I agree with you, Ray. The fans would have eaten it up if he turned face.
Well, a great wrestler is a great wrestler, and Rockstar Spud did some great things. I'm not saying he's great yet, but he did some great things in the ring, and EC3 did some great things in the ring. And WWE, my God, with all due respect to your organization, you really dropped the ball with this big, good-looking, great in-ring talent, great on the mic talent. I mean, an overall total package. And Derek Bateman moving over to TNA Wrestling, Impact Wrestling, becoming Ethan Carter III, EC3, and just taking that role at a young age, because he's still very young, and running with it. And I'm sure WWE, there's somebody there, allegedly, that's actually kind of making phone calls and just trying to figure out when his contract is up. And I'm telling you, Andre, this guy's going to be a megastar no matter where he goes. But now, one of the interesting things we were talking about off the air, Andre, was the interesting use of the black and white and color. And people right now who didn't watch the show is probably, what the hell are you talking about, black and white? Why don't you break down basically what TNA did and why do you think they did what they did, and how.
This new and innovative idea that TNA teased last week, delivering graphic violence, stuff natured in that regard, going black and white in a form of maybe sensitizing it in a desensitized world right now when it comes to gore, violence.
Like Rhino gore?
I liked it, Ray. Fans have been given so much blood, so much over-the-top wrestling action and crazy, drastic, and dramatic things that maybe it's safe to say that they've forgotten exactly what the... how can I say it? They've forgotten the effort and what entails a wrestler bleeding for the fans.
Yeah,
it's not easy.
No,
and
it's not.
You know how it is? If I have 10 cups of coffee in a day, I guarantee you that 10th cup is not going to taste anywhere near as good as the first cup. If I was to tell my lady that I loved her every single day, it would lose some of its value. And along the way, with hardcore wrestling, ECW, CZW, and all of the hardcore matches that have been performed over the last 25 years or so, has desensitized the wrestling fan. So while I was watching this, Ray, and they only did it a little bit, teasing it.
Right.
There was still a lot of gore within this match.
Yep.
But each and every time they did it, it made me realize, oh yeah, I'm watching something graphic here.
Right.
And I think it has the potential or possibility to actually add more to the emotional investment within these hardcore matches as these wrestlers put themselves on the line.
Well, what I was going to say was, back in the day, bleeding was something important in wrestling. It meant that the feud is gone to another level. When you saw Roddy Piper and Greg the Hammer Valentine in the dog collar match, and these guys were all covered in blood. Ric Flair versus the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes Daddy, and he's covered in blood Daddy. I mean, what I liked about it, and I thought about this really well, what they did was, the reason why they didn't go all black and white was because certain close-ups, there was too much blood.
Yep.
So what they did was, and I don't think they had to do it, but they did it for effectiveness. It was
exactly. Like I said, it made me double think and and realize, as I'm desensitized as well.
Right.
It made me realize, hey, this is a big deal.
This is getting serious.
Yeah.
Like are they like is he supposed to be bleeding this much, or and people? Let me explain something to you. I'm gonna give you a little insider stuff. It's not blood capsules.
No.
I'm not gonna break down what wrestlers.
Don't even break it down, Ray.
I'm not gonna break down what wrestlers do, but these guys are actually bleeding, and no matter how, let me tell you something. The head when this is very thin layer of skin. When it's cut, it bleeds profusely, and when you lose blood, my friend, you're losing fluids, and when you lose fluids, you really don't have energy,
you're
stamina,
losing your equilibrium, your balance.
Yeah,
I
mean, it's amazing with these professional athletes Andre can do with all this blood. You see in the NBA, somebody gets a little cut, and it's like,
Ray, quick question to you.
Yep, go ahead.
And the fans, comment below and let us know what your opinion, what your match, what your moment was pertaining or relating to this. What was the bloodiest moment you've ever seen in wrestling, Ray? For me, it was when the Raging Bull jumped off the top rope in South America, hitting Invader number 2 as fountains of blood gushed from his mouth as he crushed his sternum and near killed him, getting the payback for what happened in the locker room when Manny Hernandez's friend, Bruiser Brody, was stabbed and murdered by Invader number 1, I believe it was. So this was payback to Invader number 2, and Manny was lucky to make it out of the building that night with his own life, and it's still available on YouTube, wrestling fans. To me, out of all of the years I've witnessed and all of the crazy things I've been desensitized to pertaining or relating to blood, gore, that definitely takes the cake as the most blood I've ever seen.
I would say the late 70s and mid 80s would probably be the goriest time of professional wrestling. Again, I was privy to be able to watch not only AWA but World Wrestling Council, where I saw matches between Abdullah the Butcher
and that's where this happened.
And Carlos Colon. And Carlos Colon, like just be covered and saturated in blood. I can't give you a specific moment, Andre, but I can tell you that again, the dog collar match between Roddy Piper and Greg the Hammer Valentine. I mean, that match was extremely gory and bloody. I mean, Piper was wrapping the chain around his mouth, around Valentine's mouth, and pulling back on it. I've seen so many bloody matches, and again, Dusty Rhodes was a profuse bleeder, I guess you could say. But again, Andre, it's the fact that this feud has gone to the next level. These guys are killing each other.
And the fans want more and more of it. They really do. And when this feud started, people were like, oh, they're stalling on EC3's push. Come on, get over this already. And they pulled a complete 180 in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I loved it. And I think it's a good idea overall with this implementation, this innovative idea from Total Nonstop Action Wrestling to remind us and make us realize that, hey, it's gotten serious.
Very serious. So all in all, Andre, this TNA, and I'm so disappointed that not more households can actually watch TNA. I'm not going to break down how many people actually watch this week. It really doesn't matter. People. There's certain reporters out there that won't even mention TNA. There's certain idiots out there that have YouTube shows that won't mention TNA.
Oh, did you see me and Dave Meltzer going back and forth earlier today?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, let's leave that. Let's leave that out.
It stayed professional.
Yeah. Well. But the fact is, Andre, that I lost my train of thought. Where was I going?
You're talking about some reporters that.
Yeah, some reporters they don't mention Total Nonstop Action Wrestling
unless it's a negative.
Unless it's a negative, like the place was half empty. But anyway, they don't know what the hell they're talking about. But the fact is this, my friend, this is TNA. And I stopped watching for a little while. Andre, I've been watching every week, and when I can't watch, I listen to Andre's report, and then I rewatch it on TV on my DVR. Has been some of the most entertaining and some of the best stuff wrestling-wise on TV going today. I mean, we have Kurt Angle, who's about to face Bobby Lashley for the TNA World Heavyweight Championship, Andre, in a last man standing match. Am I correct?
Yeah, I'm going to digress. I'll touch that.
No, I'm just saying that
I'll touch on that in a little while.
I think that's going to be freaking awesome. But anyway, so we're going to move on.
They've never faced each other, Ray.
Never faced each other. NCAA champion versus Olympic champion, huh?
Yeah.
Pretty awesome. Yeah. All right, so we're going to jump into our next topic, Andre. And we know what season this is. This isn't Wabbit season. It's WrestleMania season. And my question to you is, Andre, how does the biggest wrestling company or sports entertainment company in the world, which basically has the show, which is the show of shows in WrestleMania, how does a big company, a billion-dollar company, build a lackluster WrestleMania, Andre?
I have the answer for you, wrestling fans. Now, this is a company that writes a year-long idea, their year-long storyline progression, and the champion rolling in was Daniel Bryan. He unfortunately got injured, so obviously WWE had to rewrite that portion of the season, of the progression, of the build towards WrestleMania, which is a year-long build each and every year. Now, let's add more coals to the fire here. They tried pushing Roman Reigns, and we're still going to get that push. But I think WWE had to stop. I think WWE had to stop and rewrite pre-Fastlane to change it up a little bit to revamp their build. And this is why this is happening. The company usually has, Vince McMahon usually has the idea of where he wants to go for the next WrestleMania, at least the day after WrestleMania. And this company's always written like that ever since the early 80s. And that's just Vince McMahon's way of operating. So it's clear within the injury and within the rejection of Roman Reigns and the Daniel Bryan situation, they had to stop twice and rewrite. And it's caused them, it's hurt them within their build. So we ask you, wrestling fans, how to build a lackluster WrestleMania in 2015 by the WWE. This is exactly what that is. Now, you go ahead, Ray.
No, well, I was going to say, I mean, my personal opinion is that this is probably the worst built WrestleMania I've seen in a long time. I mean, now the matches all have potential to be not great, but very good, and the WrestleMania itself has the potential to be actually one of the better WrestleManias. It's just this, the main event. Not seeing the champion on TV for weeks at a time. The confusion with having Daniel Bryan so involved in the main event and then pushing him down the card to the Intercontinental Championship. You have a missed opportunity in Brie Bella versus Nikki Bella, a missed opportunity in Goldust versus Stardust. You have all these missed opportunities, Andre, that they shot down at Fastlane. Let me tell you something. Goldust versus Stardust could have been a damn good match at WrestleMania if they didn't waste it with that weird finish at Fastlane, Andre. I mean, do you agree?
Well, this is what happens when you restructure and panic.
Well, speaking about restructuring, the word is, and a little birdie is telling me this, that the WWE, well, from what I'm understanding, allegedly...
Okay, spit it out, brother.
May not want Brock Lesnar to drop that title.
Just more speculation.
Oh, I don't know if it's speculation, Andre. The person who I spoke to...
If he wants to leave... Unless you spoke to Brock Lesnar, you can't really say nothing because nobody knows what he's going to do. Both avenues are open. Both options are available. Unless you spoke with Brock Lesnar, I don't care who you spoke to, Ray. You can't say this. Oh, hey, but this was Jimmy Cornette, or unless it was Brock Lesnar.
All right,
spit it out.
No, I can't. Let's just say that this person, as a young man, celebrated Shabbos. My Jewish friends will know who that is and what that is. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So this WrestleMania, Andre, I don't want to get into WrestleMania too much because we're gonna have, we're gonna talk WrestleMania probably next week, like out our heads. But is there anything that you want to say regarding this slow, lackluster build?
I'm gonna read a follower's tweet to each and every one of you guys.
Very cool.
Saying, now I'm saying how bad the WrestleMania build-up is. Usually the show itself comes together nicely. Now I say there's still time, but not that much. And I'll still give the pay-per-view a chance, wrestling fans, because WWE always does put a lot into it. This is their Super Bowl, and they put as much into it as they can. So I won't say it's going to be garbage before it even happens. I'm going to watch it, see how good it is, and I'm expecting it to be better than people are expecting it to be. Now, personally, I really like the United States title build here coming into WrestleMania 31, yes. But beyond that, Ray, I have to disagree with you. I'm not really too excited beyond this match.
I'm interested.
The Orton and Rollins match has a little bit of interest to me, but take those two matches out of the equation, and the rest of this pay-per-view seems like a subpar show instead of their premier event.
I think the Intercontinental match could be a show stealer if done correctly, and if Daniel Bryan walks away with the IC title. I think that would be done very, very well. I'm just interested to see how Brock Lesnar calls the match with Roman Reigns, because he's going to be the one calling the match.
Brock Lesnar calls the match with Roman Reigns.
Oh yeah, he's going to be the one calling the match in the ring. You think Roman Reigns is going to be calling the match?
What are you talking about?
I'm sorry. I'm using inside terminology, which is calling a match is when you have a senior wrestler that's been in the ring a lot longer than a green wrestler, and what happens is the senior wrestler.
Brock Lesnar's not fighting.
Roman Reigns. He's not going to fight Roman Reigns for the title.
I thought you said Seth Rollins.
No, Roman Reigns for the title. So I'm interested. Don't worry.
Yes, I'm a ring announcer, Ray. I know what that means.
Yeah, well, we've been drinking all day. Apparently, I have anyway. So basically, Andre, I'm interested to see how Brock Lesnar calls that match, and I'm interested to see if the WWE has the balls to leave the title on Brock Lesnar, because negotiations are going very well. I've been saying this. Other websites are saying, oh, he's going to UFC. We're not going nowhere. I'm telling you, Andre, Brock Lesnar is not going anywhere. He's staying in the WWE.
Still losing at WrestleMania.
I don't think he's losing, Andre.
He's losing, Ray.
Oh, we're gonna have to do a prediction show, my friend. But anyway, we're gonna move on. because I don't want to spend too much time. But before I move on, Andre, really quickly, I have a friend of mine. His name is 8-Track Brown. And again, this going back and forth all night, Andre. I mean, this is how important our top 5 is, Andre. Our top 5 is a very important segment, Andre.
We should call it the top 10, though,
Well, speaking about top 10, I mean, he gives his top 10 cruiserweights of all time, Andre. You got Eddie Guerrero, Chris Candido, Kenta Mystico, Ultimo Dragon, Brian Pillman.
Yes.
I forgot about Brian Pillman. Dean Malenko, Great Suzuki, Rey Mysterio number 2, and number 1, Jushin Thunder Liger. I can't wait to hear from our fans.
Liger did really well.
Liger's doing pretty damn good, brother. He spelled it wrong, though.
Oh, wow.
It's not Tiger, it's Liger. Anyway.
Did he say Tiger?
I don't want to get into it. Anyway, 8-Track Brown, your feet smell. So, I don't know anything about that, actually. He's actually a pretty damn good bowler. I went bowling with him. He's pretty impressive. I didn't know black guys bowl, 8-Track. Never seen him on TV.
Another jab. Woo!
Why don't you bring it, brother? I can't wait. I can't wait to get a piece of you at the PW Hustle podcast. Anyway. Andre, so now TNA.
To some TNA news.
TNA news, Andre. Why don't you tell us?
Executive Vice President of Creative and Head of TNA Talent Relations, John Gabarick, announced earlier today, and I reported it as well on Twitter and other social media networks, that TNA has inked Robbie E., MVP, Bram, and the former TNA World Heavyweight Champion, none other than the Destroyer, Bobby Lashley. Say what? The former World Heavyweight Champion, Bobby Lashley. Yes, wrestling fans, Kurt Angle has become your brand new TNA World Heavyweight Champion in London, England, at the Wembley Arena. And could this be his last run? Either way, regardless, Kurt Angle as World Heavyweight Champion, no matter how much you liked Bobby Lashley, is indeed your new TNA World Heavyweight Champion, and hence a credible world champion. So I'm happy he's made this announcement. He's also announced that there's more announcements coming soon, and my sources within the company tease that Cherry Bomb may have been inked as well, but it's not confirmed, as well as 4 other well-known names within the world of professional wrestling, as TNA gets set to beef up in this already good year for the well-rounded promotion that has rebounded this year. What are your thoughts, Ray?
I'm just hoping that TNA can work with the TV, because Destination America, watching the way they promote the program on that channel, I wish Spike TV would have promoted them the way that Destination America promotes them. Number 1. Number 2, I am well pleased in the TNA product itself. I am not well pleased in the fact that half of North America can't watch the damn program. But I got to be honest with you. I'm excited to hear that Bobby Lashley re-signed. I do know, and I have heard of certain names that may be coming to TNA. I mean, you guys have heard. I know Andre's not a huge fan, but you know, there's rumblings out there that Cassius Ohno will be going over to TNA. Andre, you don't seem too happy.
No, I don't like Chris Hero.
Chris Hero's the man. He's the man.
At all.
I love Chris Hero.
At all.
Actually, you know what, guys? There's go to Cheap Heat. My buddy Peter Rosenberg and the Masked Man, they actually had Chris Hero on. Maybe, Andre, if you listen to that podcast, you might have a different opinion of Chris Hero.
Oh, I told you already. I followed the guy for years. It's not like I don't know who he is. I don't like him at all.
I like him. But speaking of TNA, Andre, you know, there's a TNA guy that was there, one of the more original TNA guys, that apparently he signed with Lucha Underground. He's going to be working with them, and it's Sanjay Dutt.
Yeah, one of the quickest wrestlers I've ever seen, and if you go back to him in his prime, he was definitely the quickest cruiserweight out there.
Didn't he do that little dance that they do in
India?
Yeah,
and the little tambourine with the roses.
Man. Sanjay Dutt is very
Stealing
underrated.
SoCal Bow.
Speaking about
SoCal Bow.
Speaking about cruiserweights, Andre, this guy was probably one of the best high flyers in TNA ever. What do you think? He was
definitely the quickest cruiserweight. That's the billing I'd give Sanjay Dutt.
Who would you say was better in the ring between Sanjay Dutt and the Elix Skipper?
Oh, dude.
I just threw that. That was a softball right down the middle.
What time is it? Prime time, baby.
Well, listen, Andre. Before we're gonna go back in the day, and then we'll have our final segment. But
I still would like to touch on a few things, WWE related,
sure.
though.
Why not, Andre? Why don't we jump into that before we go back in the day?
Larry Zbyszko, wrestling fans.
Yes.
Very well deservingly
Absolutely.
has been inducted, making this subpar year for nominations, inductees within the WWE Hall of Fame, all that much more important as this guy's in an upper echelon like Macho Man Randy Savage was. I'm not comparing him to Macho Man other than the fact that they were both top names and both drew a lot of money. Now, he is going to be inducted in this 2015 Hall of Fame class the night before WrestleMania 31, and let's take a trip to Larryland.
Well, I got to say something, Andre. Again, I've mentioned this a few times that one of my favorite memories was watching as a very, very young lad. A very young lad. What am I talking like a Scottish? Was Larry Zbyszko being trained by Bruno Sammartino and him turning on Bruno and fighting him in Shea Stadium in a steel cage match. Larry Zbyszko, let me tell you something, man. Larry Zbyszko was a very, very, very good wrestler. He named himself the Living Legend, obviously holding the AWA title multiple times, so on and so forth.
Great on the mic, great seller, great psychology.
Now, some people will say that he was a horrible announcer.
Are you kidding me?
I'm serious. I mean, I don't think he was
people.
I'm just saying various people that I've listened to. They say that he wasn't the best announcer. They say that
I'd like to know one of those people, Ray. I'm sorry for putting you on the spot.
I'm not going to do that.
That is one of the most ridiculous things I've ever heard.
Oh.
There was a reason why thousands upon thousands of WCW fans every Monday Nitro that Larry Zbyszko was a part of chanted Larry, 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 Larry.
Well, he did stand up to the NWO, and he was the one guy who never wavered. Am I correct?
Phenomenal all around.
Now, apparently,
this guy truly deserves to be in this induction class.
Well, there's rumors that Kevin Nash is going in. He's going to be the last guy. But I'm hearing that a Japanese superstar may be going in. Did you hear anything about that?
No.
Okay. So I guess, it is what it is. If you know about what the hell I'm talking about, what I heard, please leave your comments here below. Fill us in. We can talk about it next week maybe. But I think this WWE Hall of Fame is going to be interesting. What happened? Nude photos?
I bought some Sambuca. Oh, no, I'm not even going to say it.
Jesus Christ. Andre Corbeil.
It's going to be a good weekend, brother.
Oh, my gosh. I'm going away to Atlantic City again.
I'm going to Larryland. I'm just kidding.
Well, I'm going to Larryland. Now, I'm actually going away, Andre, for a couple of days.
Yeah, you were telling me that. Back to the Larry Zbyszko thing, and then we'll get to where you're going on the weekend or whatnot.
Sure.
My introduction to Larry wasn't as early as Ray's introduction. Mine was when he was wrestling in AWA, and I thought he was a phenomenal talent, one of the best loudmouths, right up there in the levels of a Roddy Piper with being a loudmouth. Think of the skill, the mic level, the cockiness, the rambunctiousness of Roddy Piper, and you try and put someone side by side in that category. There's not really anybody you can put, but the closest thing to being able to put would be Larry Zbyszko. Would you agree? I can't hear you.
Idiot. I always put the damn silence. This is the sneeze button. When you're sneezing or coughing, you go, you didn't hear that. Anyway, so basically,
easy.
My God, what a long day.
What do you think?
I don't know if I put him on the same level as a Roddy Piper.
Okay.
I'm talking about. I think he's very intelligent. I think he's smart. I think his psychology is excellent.
Oh, crazy!
I love the whole kung fu ninja gimmick he was doing in AWA. When I don't know if you remember that. No. he was wearing the karate gi, and he was wearing the.
Oh yes,
dude. He kind of reinvented himself a little bit. Listen, Larry Zbyszko may not be the living legend. That's Bruno Sammartino. I don't care what anybody says. But Larry Zbyszko is absolutely a legend. And I think that it was a good take for WWE to bring Larry Land to the WWE Hall of Fame, Andre.
Absolutely. Now, who would be the perfect person to induct Larry Zbyszko?
Diamond Dallas Page? Didn't he work with him a lot when he was managing? What the hell was the name of that tag team back then?
Could you imagine, Ray? Can you imagine if
Bruno
they
Sammartino
talked Bruno into coming to? Wouldn't that
my
be,
God!
See, you got it. I knew you'd get it, bro. Good. That's where I was going with this.
Let me tell you, Bruno Sammartino would be fantastic.
Perfect. It'd be perfect.
Induct Larry Zbyszko. I would love to hear Bruno talking about Larry Zbyszko. It would be amazing.
It would absolutely.
No,
be
seriously. Bill Apter does a way better Bruno. But
that's what I was thinking in my head.
It was bad. I tried. Damn it. But,
it wasn't bad. Better than what I could do.
Hey, whatever, dude. But that would be. But all right, if not Bruno. Who would induct him? I swear to God, they put Roman Reigns up there. I'm gonna punch myself in the face.
Greg Gagne?
Hey, why not? Or Vern Gagne? Oh, he passed. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
It's okay, bro.
Sometimes. Oh God. Sometimes you watch the WWE Network, and you forget. You watch it, and sometimes I forget that these people have passed on. So my apologies to the Gagne family. That would be interesting if they could bring Vern Gagne back, though. Greg Gagne. Oh God.
For one night only, Ray. You just on to the next topic, which is a little bit more fun. Get ready to fashizzle my nizzle. Snoop Doggy Dogg will be appearing on next week's WWE Monday Night Raw show leading up to WrestleMania 31. Fashizzle my nizzle, carizzle, bizzle, hizzle, and a dizzle.
Don't do that.
Y'all, fashizzle my nizzle, carizzle, bizzle, hizzle,
I'm actually,
bizzle,
Andre, I swear to God, I'm gonna cut off your mic.
Okay, I'll just do the Jeff Hardy dance.
Don't do the Jeff Hardy dance. Anyway,
mine's better.
No, yours is a dog paddle. I always tell you that. But
shizzle my nizzle, carizzle, bizzle.
I'm actually more interested in LL Cool J being there, man. I think he's gonna be a pretty cool little celebrity, man. I mean, the guy's a freaking legend. What do you think?
Oh, you know what? Longevity-wise, nobody had a more longevity type streak.
Oh yeah. LL Cool J is awesome because LL Cool J is the type of guy that his career not only spans decades, but he has the charisma.
Author, actor, musician.
He's a wrestling fan.
Everything.
He's always been. I don't know if people know this. This guy's been a wrestling fan since
he was on Raw many years ago.
Oh yeah, so he's a legit fan. Yeah, man. I mean, Snoop Dogg. Hey, Snoop Dogg.
Baby. Go ahead, baby. The jiggling, baby.
Andre,
I got my Adidas on, my LO representing.
Let me tell you something. People bust on guys like LL Cool J or the Snoop Dogg.
Yeah, they bust on him because all of their women wanted the man.
But listen, these guys. Listen, Andre.
I'm gonna knock you out.
Andre.
I'm gonna knock you out.
You done?
'Cause I'm bad.
Let me know when you're done.
Go ahead.
No, like guys like Snoop Dogg. And LL Cool J and guys like please don't bite my heads off. But even the horrible stuff that we heard coming out of the mouth of Wiz Khalifa, I know for a fact because I met the guy a dozen times. He's very good friends with Rosenberg. He's been to the building 1,000 times.
They'll feature him on Raw, but China's too bad to go in the WWE Hall of Fame.
But that's not what I'm saying. These guys are legit wrestling fans who really love the business and they really care about the WWE. I mean, so that's a whole freaking other topic, Andre. I don't want to get into right now with China, but anyway, listen, we've been all over the place this show. It's been pretty fun. I liked it. I've just pretty much talking wrestling, but I think it's time, Andre, to get into that time machine. Speaking about time machine, my favorite commercial is that Doritos commercial where the kid has a little cardboard box and he tells the guy that he gives them the bag of Doritos. And I am getting no respect today. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going back in the day with Bill Schuyler. I'm going to cut off your mic. Goodbye. Back in the day, Bill Schuyler. Take us away. You suck, Andre.
Welcome, wrestling fans. You got Bill Schuyler here back in the day at the Can-Am Wrestling Show, and we're traveling back to February 25th, 1990. Wrestle War. Midnight Express with Sweet Stan Lane and beautiful Bobby Eaton going up against the Rock and Roll Express. Robert Gibson, Ricky Morton, Jimmy Cornette in the corner of the Midnight Express. These two teams had one of the longest running feuds in the history of professional wrestling. Every match was a monumental occasion, and tonight would be no different. This was old-fashioned tag team wrestling, the kind of thing you don't have these days. I'm talking snap arm drags, leaping and drop kicking, a plethora of old school moves, working on body parts, telling a story in and out of the ring, ring psychology being sold, holds and moves being sold. That's right, no 50 to 100 different 1-2 kick-outs going back and forth, and guys hitting their finisher moves one after another, and guys kicking out, and nobody can knock anybody down. These guys beat upon each other from pillar to post, in and out of the ring, double tag teaming, hard sells. Again, the storytelling and the psychology, just a beautiful thing to observe and see, something that's being lost in this generation. Every kick, every punch, every strike, every move meant something. And this was going back and forth, and as they were wearing each other down, then the pinfall attempts began as they tried to beat each other, unable to score the pin. Back and forth tags in and out. Finally, we had Jim Cornette came up and hit with a loaded racket on Robert Gibson. It looked like the Midnight Express was going to steal another win from the Rock and Roll, but Gibson kicked out almost at the drop of the third hand of the referee. They continued to go at it. Bobby Eaton came into the double team. Ricky Morton storms across the ring, taking him out. Jim Cornette unable to get into the ring. Robert Gibson rolling up Sweet Stan Lane for the 1, the 2, and the 3. And the Rock and Roll Express was victorious over the Midnight Express in yet another one of their classic matches. History every time you see it, folks. And this surely was not the first nor the last time these men would see each other in the ring. But that, of course, is a story for another day, and I'll see you, and we'll talk about that down the road.
He's alive! Thanks for back in the day, Bill Schuyler. He's alive!
Back in the day.
Now, wrestling fans, Ray and I were talking in between the segment there while Bill Schuyler was doing the back in the day segment, and I thought to myself, you know what? I think he was responsible, Vern Gagne, was responsible for someone's death and that he didn't die.
Right.
Now, he is alive, wrestling fans. He's 89 years old and still alive. So, just because we're credible, we're knowledgeable, and we're passionate, we're going to set the score and the record straight here. On January 26, 2009, Vern Gagne got into an altercation with Helmut Gutman, a 97-year-old resident.
His name was Helmut?
Of the facility, who fell and broke his hip. According to Gutman's widow,
I'm sorry, I shouldn't be laughing.
Gagne picked him up and hurled him violently on the floor, then pulling back, cinching on his body, thus breaking the man's hip.
What?
The wife was not present during this altercation. However, Bloomington, Minnesota Police Chief Jeff Potts said the attack, which was not a wrestling body slam, happened quickly while the men were at a table. Bloomington police also added it was more like a push, a shove, and this caused Gutman to fall. Neither man had any recollection of the incident. Gutman was admitted to the hospital and died on February 14th. So yes, that's what it was. He died on February 14th from complications from the injury. So, setting the record straight on the Can-Am Wrestling Show.
So, you're saying there's a chance.
There is a chance.
That he could be...
No, there's not a chance, because I want to clarify something else, too. Wow, the information is just popping in my head now. I believe Vern Gagne suffers from dementia, so he would not be able to perform the ceremony or Yeah, so there you
Alright.
go, setting the record straight on the Can-Am Wrestling Show. Anything you want to add? I was having a hard time keeping a straight face while you were laughing.
Listen, I'm not
He's
laughing.
alive!
I'm not laughing at the fact that the man died. I would never do that. I am laughing at the fact that his name was Helmet. What if he should have been wearing a helmet?
What a dick, eh?
He should have been wearing a helmet.
All right. You're going to burn in hell for that.
He should have been.
Oh, my God. With all due respect.
Oh, my God. God forgive me. Hold on, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna cut away.
It's got to be the biggest breakdown brain fart we've ever had on the Can-Am Wrestling Show.
I mean, Vern Gagne's 89 years old, man. I mean,
with
jeez,
dementia.
Jeez.
With dementia.
All right, let's jump into our last topic.
Again, we apologize, wrestling fans. No disrespect to the dead, but when you have him like helmet. Oh my God, we might have to edit this portion.
No, we're not. All I keep thinking about is this Andre?
Man, I want to give you some helmet.
No, I keep thinking about this. I am your father's brother's sister's cousin's former roommate. Well, what does that make us? Absolutely nothing, which is what you will be, Lone Star.
Ah, yes, Spaceballs.
Lord Helmet. Oh my God.
You did not see me playing with my dolls. I did not see you playing with your dolls, sir.
She's gone from suck to blow.
Oh my God, we're right off the deep end, Ray.
Oh God, on high.
And with that, with that in mind, let's roll into our final segment of the evening. What would be better? Yes, Brock Lesnar staying in the WWE or indeed getting helmet? Okay, what would be better, Brock Lesnar staying in the WWE or returning to UFC and getting helmet?
Well, I'm sorry, but if he goes back to UFC, he might have to wear a helmet.
He better get some helmet.
But listen, in all seriousness now, oh my God, Brock Lesnar. Now, for me, I'm gonna give you my opinion on this.
Beast incarnate.
I would be interested to see a Brock Lesnar that's 100% go back and fight Frank Mir, because they fought twice. Frank Mir obviously won the first one, with a leg lock, and Brock Lesnar dominated the second one. And I want him to beat the living hell out of Alistair Overeem. Because Brock Lesnar was very sick during that fight, and anyone that watches mixed martial arts, that kick to the liver really took Brock Lesnar down. I mean, it was such a quick fight. I think Brock Lesnar is a much better all-around fighter than Alistair Overeem. But anyway,
you think?
I think.
Can't prove it because
I can't prove it.
Brock Lesnar does indeed go to the UFC.
Right, and
now,
I don't know. I'm just saying that it would be interesting to see, but my opinion, Andre, I'd rather him stay in the WWE.
I hear you, Ray, but my UFC reason, why don't we give two reasons here?
Go ahead,
one in defense of the possibility of going to UFC, and one in the defense of him staying in the WWE. Now, the fact of the matter is, wrestling fans, and MMA fans for that matter, now Brock Lesnar still has unfulfilled UFC dates that he never completed for Dana White. So and you factor in that it's no secret of the great relationship Brock and Dana White have as personal friends. So I wouldn't rule out a UFC return with Brock Lesnar being more passionate about the world of MMA than he is in the world of professional wrestling. The eyes are the window to the soul, wrestling fans, and if you've looked in the champ's eyes over the last year, his heart's just not in it. Now, my WWE reason for him to stay, it's also no secret that Brock's getting up there in age, and staying in the WWE, let's just say, would be way easier on his health and his body and his mind. Now, I'm still expecting the champ to lose at WrestleMania 31 and possibly depart from the company shortly thereafter. But if he does indeed stay, it would be the smarter move As I said, he's an aging fighter, an aging beast. Not that he's not an ass kicker, but it is on the table. He's an aging athlete. He's making a great... He's wedged his way into having one of the most flexible and best-paying WWE contracts this company has possibly ever done.
All right. My reason for Brock Lesnar to stay in the WWE is actually right down the line with you.
Okay.
And that being that it's going to be easier on him physically and mentally, like you just said. And I just think it's financially a better. It's going to be. I can't say it's more stable, but I just think, like you said,
more guaranteed.
It's more guaranteed, and for his health-wise, I think it's
body and mind.
It's better because he is much older now. With Cain Velasquez being the UFC World Heavyweight Champion right now, and you have guys like Junior Dos Santos, and you have guys like Alistair Overeem, and you know the heavyweight division is okay, but it's not great. So the UFC, I'm sorry.
Wouldn't that pump a lot of money into the flailing heavyweight division there?
Well, that's what I was going to say.
Like you said, it's not broken, but it's not at its peak by any sense of the word.
And that's what I was going to say, that the heavyweight division is not for the taking, but it's doable. But Brock Lesnar would have to do it now. He can't wait another year. He can't wait 2 years. He would have to do it now. So, from what I understand, like I said, negotiations with him, Triple H is pushing for this guy to keep that belt. And I honestly don't see him going anywhere, dude. I think in the long run, Brock Lesnar is a very smart businessman, and whether you think it's a work or not, he takes a lot of.
Who thinks what's a work?
No, I'm saying the fans in general, whether they think him and Paul Heyman's
okay.
relationship.
I thought you meant me. I don't think it's a work.
Whether they think Paul Heyman and his relationship is just a part of the show, it's not. I mean, Paul Heyman is a good friend of his, and I'm sure Paul Heyman is very much so, allegedly, giving him advice. And I am sure that Brock Lesnar, I'm not 100% sure, but I'm 99.9% sure. Speculating from various information that I get, so on and so forth, what I hear, what I read, but word of mouth from people that are very close to the situation. I think Brock Lesnar is going to stay. So, fans, we want to know: do you think it's better for Brock Lesnar to stay in the WWE, or do you think it would be better for Brock Lesnar to go fight in the UFC, or because there's always a plan C, Andre? Is it possible that Vince McMahon would allow the Beast to fight in the UFC a la Bobby Lashley and in the WWE?
You just stole my closeout. Just stole my closeout.
Yeah, but
if Bobby Lashley can do it with Bellator and TNA, why not?
Well, Bellator is not the same level as UFC, though, Andre.
That's not the example. That's not the example. The example is a double sport combatant making money for both organizations.
I mean, I'm not taking anything away from Bellator because any one of those guys will probably kick my ass.
Fans would be missing the point if that's where they were focusing. I'm focusing on being a Bo athlete. You know what I mean?
Right. Bo. Does any of the young kids know who the hell Bo is?
Bo Jackson?
Bo Jackson. Deion
Look
Sanders.
him up on the internet, fans.
Deion Sanders. The original three-sport athlete was Brown. Anyway.
So, as Sting said, in the world of wrestling, and MMA for this matter, nothing's for sure.
Nothing is for sure. But nothing's for sure, but you can never say never. See, I mean, that's why we love...
say never.
That's why we love wrestling, Andre.
Never say never.
Not wrestling. It's not wrestling, it's wrestling. Okay, on that note, ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Can-Am Wrestling Show, episode number 60. Ladies and gentlemen, you can follow us on Twitter at Andre_Corbeil. Follow me on Twitter at Big Ray Show. Follow us here at One Wrestling. Follow the legend Bill Apter at Apter One Wrestling. Follow You Got the Show, Bill Schuyler. Again, You Got the Show at You Got the Show on Twitter. Don't forget Billy Ray Valentine. Follow him at Billy Ray Hustle, ladies and gentlemen. And do not forget, we have NXT reviews. We have WWE reviews. Andre Corbeil does the TNA breakdown and reviews. We have pay-per-view reviews. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the place to be. Andre Corbeil, now that he's grabbing Tony, take it away, brother.
Meow, 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 meow.
Don't. The freaking cat.
We're knowledgeable, passionate, OneWrestling.com reporters, and we know that the show would be nothing without each and every one of you supporting it like you do, and we thank you for it. Again, leave future top 5 selections for us, and we do listen to the fans, so you never know. Don't be too shy to leave a comment in the comment section. We will interact with you because we're knowledgeable, passionate wrestling reporters. We know each and every one of you guys are knowledgeable, passionate wrestling fans too. And that's why what we do,
Oh, I thought you were talking French. Try tested and true.
Ça fait du bien, oui, je veux encore te donner l'amour.
Yeah, la cucaracha too. To you too, my friend. And ladies and gentlemen, I want to give another shout out to Lee J. Robinson. Follow him on Twitter at FlamePHX. Ladies and gentlemen, I would say this every single week. I would do this for a living, but if I can, I would do it anyway. Why? Because I love talking wrestling with you.
It's wrestling.
It's wrestling. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you next week for another. Okay.
1 week to go, wrestling fans, to leave your comments in the comment section to name our final segment. You notice there was no hot seat this week. You noticed there was no hot seat last week and the week prior. So we're down to 1 week, Ray. We're down to 1 week, wrestling fans. Leave your suggestion for the final segment of the Can-Am Wrestling Show. And come episode 61, Ray and I will announce the winner who will get to join us to introduce this new segment. Only one time. Don't get it misconstrued.
And again, ladies and gentlemen, it's not a topic. It's a segment. It's something that we need to do every single week. Like the Can-Am hot seat. And it can't be anything outrageous. It can't be like, strip poker. I mean, we can't do that. So, guys, please leave your comments. Private message us if you want. If you follow us on Twitter, if we follow you, private message us. Hit us on Facebook. But please, don't hit me at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Go over to the new Andre Corbeil YouTube channel. It's rebuilding, fans. Don't get lost in the shuffle. Shuffle.
In the shuffle.
Don't get lost in the shuffle.
That's the shuffle and the rubble.
To join the, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you next week.
We're all in this for one thing. Wrestling.
All right, in the words of the legendary icon of professional wrestling reporting, Andre, we will see you
at the matches.
Peace.